Hey, what's up everybody? It's JD, aka Snazzy Jazzy J, back again, and today I want to make a list of the top 5 villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or for short, the MCU. Over the 18 films, we have seen a lot of these villains come and go, with most of them meeting a fatal end, meaning most likely they won't be back in this Marvel Universe unless maybe the Infinity Stones can somehow reset the timeline or revive some of these fallen antagonists. But like I said, Marvel obviously has no problem giving these villains the one and done treatment and letting them meet their demise. There have been some really great villains that have made a big impact, but there have been some duds also. We're gonna weed them out and give you the heavy hitters, the top 5. And with Avengers Infinity War, we're finally gonna see the big bad Mad Titan Thanos in action and wreak havoc on our beloved Avengers. Thanos probably deserves the #1 spot just based off name recognition and off of the trailers, seeing him go toe to toe with Cap and making Thor scream for mercy. But since he hasn't been featured full length in a movie as of yet, we're going to keep him off the list. So, with all that being said, here's our list of the best villains in the MCU, the top 5, starting off at number 5 with this guy, Johann Schmidt. Oh, my bad, you might recognize him a little better like this.
See, I was his greatest success.
The Red Skull, the main antagonist of Captain America's first solo film, Captain America: The First Avenger. The Red Skull was a former Nazi agent that used the same kind of super soldier serum that was used on Captain America, but it gave him the undesired side effect of, well, you see his face, don't you? The Red Skull is the founder and leader of the Hydra organization with the ultimate goal of taking over the world. We discovered that the Red Skull is developing advanced weaponry with the help of the scientist Arnim Zola and the Tesseract, which we now know harnesses the power of the Space Stone. In the first Avenger, the Red Skull gives Captain America a run for his money.
You don't give up, do you? No.
On his way to go drop a bomb on New York City, him and Cap get into a huge fight on his airplane. Of course, Cap stops the Red Skull's plan, but it leads to him getting beamed away by the Space Stone as he holds it in his hand, and Captain America ends up going down in the plane, which is the reason why he gets frozen for all those years. A lot of people believe that the Red Skull really didn't die, but that the Tesseract might have sent him to maybe an alternate universe, dimension, or somewhere else, who knows. There have been rumors swirling that he may be in an Infinity War, but as of yet there is no definitive proof. But the mystery of what happened just adds to the legacy of this character, and his importance to the MCU landed him at number 5 on my list. Let's hope he returns one day. But at number 4, next, we have Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture from Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, whether you like the movie or not, doesn't matter. You need to give credit to Michael Keaton for his outstanding performance of this villain. From the very beginning, his motives were clear. He was bitter at Tony Stark and his company taking over his worksite, cleaning up after the incident in New York back in the first Avengers movie.
The joint venture between Stark Industries and the federal government, the Department of Damage Control, will oversee the collection and storage of alien and other exotic materials.
So now the assholes who made this mess are getting paid to clean it up?
Yeah, it's all rigged.
And honestly, I see his point. The Avengers cause a huge mess, but I mean, they are saving the world. But Tony Stark and his company get paid to clean it up now too. So instead of giving back the alien technology, he has his people design a suit and weapons for him to use to go and try and steal more of it. But of course, Spider-Man comes through and tries to stop him, which pisses him off more.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Whoa, get out! Look out! Look out! Look out! Move!
And the best part about it is that the Vulture just also happens to be the father of Peter's crush, and on the way to prom they get into a pretty awkward encounter. Coincidences, right? The last fight scene of the movie is awesome in itself, fighting atop Tony Stark's airplane that Toomes was trying to rob. Even though Peter stops him, Toomes doesn't die, but instead goes to jail, and it seems like we are likely to see him again in the future. Moving on to number 3 on our list, I have got to give it to Eric Killmonger from the newest Marvel movie, Black Panther. Michael B. Jordan definitely did an amazing job portraying this character. His motives and reasoning behind everything he did were clear and understandable, and most importantly, I think a lot of people can really relate to him, or they get why he did what he did. Now, I know the movie's still new, so just so you know, there's going to be a few spoilers right now, but I need to explain why he's number 3. First of all, he was able to infiltrate Wakanda, and secondly, he took over the throne from T'Challa and beat him in hand-to-hand combat, which is no easy task. As former CIA Black Ops, he got the nickname Killmonger from all of the confirmed kills, which the scars on his body represent each one, so you guess how many that is. He eventually got beaten by T'Challa in the last fight, but instead of going to jail, he opted for death instead. He was definitely one of the best villains with a meaningful cause that the MCU has seen, and it's a shame he won't be back. He honestly put in a claim for #1, but these two villains have been around longer and have made a bigger impact all around on the MCU, so coming in at #2 is the Winter Soldier, aka Bucky Barnes, Captain America's childhood best friend from Brooklyn. After falling from a cliff in the first Avengers, serving in the army with Cap, Bucky returns as a brainwashed super soldier with a metallic arm with one mission: to take down Nick Fury and then Captain America. The end fight scene in The Winter Soldier, which is still probably my favorite MCU movie today, gives us an amazing showdown between Cap and Bucky, but Cap really doesn't want to kill his friend. Cap completes the mission but free falls from a very high distance, but the Winter Soldier pulls him out of the water, seemingly like he maybe finally realized who Cap is. Not only did Winter Soldier have a whole movie dedicated to him, but also he was a huge part of Civil War. He gets framed for the bombing of the Sokovia Accords and killing T'Challa's father, and the whole movie Captain America is trying to protect him. So if it wasn't for Winter Soldier, we wouldn't have the Black Panther in the MCU, and we got Spider-Man in that same movie too. He's also given us some of the best action in the MCU, hands down. Back when he was brainwashed, he killed Tony Stark's parents, which led to the final scene of Civil War with the 2-on-1 between Iron Man against Cap and Bucky.
Do you even remember them? I remember all of them.
The Winter Soldier's mark on the MCU may be the biggest and may only be second to this next person. #1 on our list is... it is the Abomination from the Incredible Hulk. Just kidding, it's Loki. Loki has had the biggest impact out of any villain in the MCU. The god of mischief, constantly betraying Thor, his own stepbrother, trying to take over Asgard, using the Tesseract as a weapon in his staff, mind-controlling Hawkeye, brought the Chitauri to New York in the first Avengers, in which they are still cleaning up from, betrays his family constantly, worked for Thanos, stole the Tesseract back at the end of Ragnarok, in which he did try to betray Thor again in that movie. He's just a piece of work. Tom Hiddleston has nailed the character to a T. Seeing as he is one of the only villains besides the Winter Soldier that is constantly appearing in the MCU, it's hard to argue his impact. Most of the shit going on in the MCU, it seems like Loki has had his hand in it somehow. Don't get me wrong, he also has his moments where he shines, but it's usually just for his benefit, then he tricks Thor again in some way. I'm also pretty sure that he's going to give the Space Stone to Thanos in the Infinity War and betray everyone again, or maybe he gets killed by Thanos. I mean, I hope not, but from the trailers, we know Thanos gets the Space Stone from the Tesseract, so we will see what happens. If you have been watching the MCU, Loki has caused a shitstorm, so there's no doubt in my mind he deserves the #1 spot. I mean, wasn't the Chitauri invasion enough? But there you have it. That is my list of the top 5 villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like and comment and subscribe. It will help me out a lot. Thank you. And also, in the bottom, let me know who your favorite villain is. Thank you.